We're live.
All right, guys, welcome to the Saluda Baptist Church Youth Podcast. This is a special edition, special Super Bowl edition to the podcast.
Super Bowl.
That's right. We are recording this real time right before the halftime show. The reason I wanted to record this, I've never had the effects. I like it. This special edition of the podcast. The reason I want to do this is, Britton, what's the score?
Isn't it 10-3?
That's right. 10-3 who?
49ers are up.
Yeah, this is a big deal for Britain. Big deal.
Dude, they did an insane trick play that I would have never thought they would have done. And, like, it worked. It was something like you would do, like what you'd see off the movie The Longest Yard. Or you played on Madden against your little brother.
I mean, the replay was cool. I didn't see it live, but that was pretty impressive.
It was pretty awesome to watch it live.
So, reason I want to do this, one, let Britton get his thoughts out there. Hopefully it goes well. Hope it continues going your way, buddy. Only
Get my thoughts out there.
only 4 Taylor Swift sightings. I'm kind of bummed, but you know.
Dude, I done told you here's my Taylor Swift prediction. She's going to be shown 13 times. Kansas City's Chiefs are somehow going to win in the end because they paid the refs off.
Oh wow. Okay. But in all seriousness, last count 27 youth. Pretty
Whoop.
cool.
Hey.
Pretty cool. Everyone's looking at us like we're crazy, but that's okay.
What we're going to do when they start running in here and just screaming.
We'll grab them a mic, man. We'll put them on the podcast. But nah, we talked about on the first episode encouraging youth pastors to host a Super Bowl party, not shying away from it. And I thought it was just important to talk a little bit about just the ins and outs of it, man. Like, we're live in it right now. I mean, kids are about to watch the halftime show. We're about to go in there and watch that with them. But, you know, Britton, what do you think so far, man? What's this party been like? You know, what's your honest thoughts from a youth worker? Go.
But it's been awesome. It's because we got, I mean, you know, from listening to the first episode, we had Noah Berry, huge Kansas City fan. He has absolutely made no friends up there in the front. You know, every time Kansas City did something great, he's cheering and, you know, being loud, and he's gone strangely quiet. It's awesome to see all the youth that we have here. A couple of new faces that we got, a couple of regulars are here. Got some good food. We encourage the youth to bring some stuff, and they actually did a good job. It is edible.
Yeah, a lot of food. Food, edible.
Got a lot. We got more food than we can shake a stick at up here. I think if we would even had a quarter of what we had, we'd still have food left over. Just a good atmosphere. Everyone's cutting up, having fun. We were in there singing songs earlier, just being funny. Yeah, it's definitely worth getting to church a little bit earlier. You know, cooking some food ourselves, getting the ice and the drinks ready, and getting all the other stuff lined up. Sacrificing a little bit of sleeping tonight and stuff like that to give our youth a safe place to hang out and to watch the game.
Exactly. And, you know, it fosters good fellowship. It fosters, you know, just fun and provides a place where even the leaders can be real, just hang out, have fun with the kids. And this is going to pay off in the days, weeks, months, years to come.
Oh, this bragging rights from the table tonight.
like we're gonna have. I mean, I'm literally the table we have our podcast stuff set up on is like just full of crock pots.
Little smokies.
It's awesome.
It's very distracting.
But you know, in 2 months, when you have that student whose grandfather is going through a sickness or passes away, or their parents are struggling, like it's gonna be these moments where you put time in as a youth worker, and you invested in them that allows you to speak into their life, and you know, just to give some encouragement out there on the spiritual side, that this is worth it. You know, this is so worth it. And again, we talked on the first podcast, you know, if you're afraid, if you got like, you know, that I'm afraid of getting sued or whatever, and I know that's happened, you know, but there are legit things that you can go to, resources. Brotherhood Mutual has a great online article about it. And, you know, basically, you know, a couple of the big things, like, you know, you can't show, and I'm looking at the article right now, you know, you can't show it on equipment unless it's already used in your space.
Check.
Has to be a space the church owns. So something like that. You can't rent a space to watch it. You can't charge admission for it. You can accept donations to cover like the cost of food and stuff, but you cannot charge admission. And you can't use logos of the NFL. Like we talked about on the first podcast, don't use their logos. Don't use the logo of the Super Bowl poll, anything like that. It's permissible to refer to the NFL, refer to the Super Bowl. You can refer to the teams. Like, we've talked about the teams, but you can't use their logos. You can't do anything like that. And, those are the big three. Like, if you're not doing those big three things, you're not renting a space, charging admission, bringing in outside equipment so you can show it, that sort of thing. You're using stuff in-house, meeting in a place you always meet, then you're good.
And even if you're worried about it, and you're like, oh, I still don't want to step on that limb. Don't take an opportunity to spend more time with the people and the kids that you're mentoring. Don't take away a possibility of you to build a better relationship. Call it, hey, we're just having a hangout. We're having a little get-together tonight. You don't even have to mention it.
Yeah.
Just
do something.
You got to do something. You got to invest that time. If you're sitting on the fence, don't. If we have other volunteers that are listening from other churches or different ministries, you got to step up and do it.
Absolutely. And part of this podcast, it's for our youth, it's for their families, but we also just want to put some practical stuff out there for other youth workers, other leaders, because it's hard being a youth worker, man. Like especially when like Britton, he's on the volunteer side only. It's easy. You can sit here as me, the part-time youth pastor, is like, oh yeah, at least you're getting paid or whatever, but you have literally just the love of these kids in the game. You don't have any other thing coming in, and and it can be frustrating. It can be hard, and just little things like this is where it gets rewarding. And hopefully you guys can still hear some of the youth in the background. Like we're literally doing this as they're running around. But don't miss out on the opportunity. And again, that article, Brotherhood Mutual, NFL copyright guidelines. Look it up, read it, do your own research, but don't let that stop you.
And I think a lot of people has asked, or maybe they haven't asked you, but what's the our youth has exploded. What's the secret? It's just investing, man. You got to invest in them. You got to love them. You got to meet them where they're at.
That's right.
Don't try to drag them out of their comfort zone. You got to get down in there with them, and spend time with them. That's how you're going to get the most bang for your buck. You be genuine, you love them, and you spend time with them, and more will come.
That's right. So, in light of that, we are going to jump off here, but hopefully, I know this was a short little segment, but this is just to encourage some youth workers, and we want to do some things like this just periodically, just to try to encourage other people that are in the trenches, man. Don't give up. Don't think these opportunities don't take them lightly. Don't think that it says, oh, I'm just doing another party. Oh, I'm just doing another hangout at the church. Like this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you're doing life with these kids, and you're storing up credit to be able to cash it in when you really need it. So in light of that, we're going to get back after it, go hang out with our kids. But we love you guys. We want to encourage y'all. Britton, any last thoughts?
I was going to say, any other volunteers or anything out there need any advice or something like that, feel free to reach out to us on our Facebook or Instagram pages through the Youth Baptist group.
That's right.
We're the two that's running that page, so we'll get it. Got any questions or anything, or if you want to possibly be interviewed on a future podcast or something like that, please reach out to us. We're doing this not just for our kids, but for everybody else, because anybody can listen to it. It's not just, oh, you got to be a member of our church. It's literally for everybody and anybody. We thank all the volunteers, all the part-time people, pastors, youth pastors, anybody behind the scenes doing anything that 20% that makes over 80% of church happen. This little segment is for y'all.
That's right. All right. Well, love you guys, and catch you guys later.
Go Niners!